and thank you for your time. I just want to share a little opportunity and maybe just a little wisdom that I gained from going to a lot of rodeos in my lifetime. So a little bit of background. Yes, I did serve in the military. I'm actually a combat veteran from way back, and just did my first enlistment and went out into the world and tried to decide what is it that I wanted to do. In a year and a half, I went through 15 jobs, 15 different career jobs. And I was good at interviewing and selling myself, but I just never really got into the right thing. And I realized after that experience, I probably would not find what I really wanted to do unless I took some more time to actually go back to school. And I think Justin today hit a key point on what was a big changer, a game changer in his life. I guess you're still on, Justin?
Yes, I'm still here.
A big game changer for him, as he alluded to, was going back to school. And like some of us, we're just not prepared after going through the military to go into school. A lot of us probably went in the military because we're trying to avoid going to college, because we really didn't excel in high school academically. And a lot of us really didn't want to go on to school, or really didn't have the confidence to do it. And I was one of those. So the opportunity to go in the military and do something neat and exciting seemed to be more appealing at the time. But what I realized once I was discharged from the military, I was just 4 years older, back at the same place with little options and little hope of a great job unless I continued my education. So I have a passion for career exploration, and I am the director of this program, and I've been the director of the ASVAB Career Exploration Program, and you're probably familiar with that as Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. And if you could remember that far back, that's what they had you take, and they pretty much said you could choose these jobs or these careers based on your score. And a lot of you might have not scored that well on the ASVAB, but the ASVAB is an indicator of your innate ability to be successful in different careers. Now, to better understand that, is the military has used the ASVAB for over 70 years as just a placement indicator. Not an indicator of your interest, but an interest for them was to see where your aptitude would be, to see if you would excel in different career fields. And so they pretty much have it set to a standard and a score, and they have line scores associated with that. Now, in the career exploration program that I'm the director of, it's an education program that's been modeled after the ASVAB, and you actually take the ASVAB again just to see what those indicators show. But also you take another segment, which is called the Holland Inventory, to see where your interests are. Because you can have an interest that doesn't match your aptitude, or you can have aptitudes that you're not interested in. For example, you might have an aptitude to be in communications or technology, but you really just don't have an interest for that. Or you might see it as a possible job, but your personality maybe just doesn't fit. And so the ASVAB career program actually takes a measure of your aptitude, where you'd probably be most successful in, and to find your interest and to put those two together in the world of work to find the jobs that you best fit. So the process is kind of backwards. And I do a lot of speaking in colleges and high schools. That's all I do. I've been the director for 17 years. I'm the director here in Northern California. My office is out in NASA. So I work with all types of people, all different types of engineers, all types of communication people. And I find a lot of people interesting. But when I think about careers and career exploration, we kind of forget about who we are. So I kind of like to turn it around tonight just for a minute, to get you not to think about career exploration, but to think about self-exploration, more about looking inward to who you really are, and then making those decisions about careers based on who you are and where you best fit. And you know, a lot of things look good. I mean, tonight we've seen fire, we've seen nursing, we've seen engineering, high tech, and there's so many programs and they all look good, right? As you mentioned, wow, I might think about that, but you know, I'm just not very good at math. You know, I was the same way. So when I first got out of the military, I was still in that military mindset. Some of you probably have experienced that in your life. That military mindset, well, I kind of wanted to follow it a little bit. One was, I had this sense of insecurity. I wanted something that I could hang on to that would take care of me. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted something that had a career and the benefits and the retirement. Isn't that what we work for? Isn't that what life's all about? Really? So without any knowledge of who I was, I just started picking things that looked good. So my whole thing tonight is to think of career exploration. When you look inward, think about it as career dating. I'm sure most of you had experiences with relationships. And so I speak to a lot of high school students, and this resonates with them. How many of you, and I can ask you tonight, how many of you just knew that was the one until you got to know them? Spend a year with them, maybe 5 years of your life with them, maybe even married them. And you realize it doesn't fit. It really doesn't work. And it's really uncomfortable. Sometimes you'll spend a lot of time, sometimes it don't take any time at all, and you just find out this is not the great fit for you. And so I could go into fire, engineering, nursing, and try it out, but it takes a lot of time to figure that out. I mean, you could go in, you might pass the first class, second class, but somewhere you'll get the message, but you don't have a lot of time. When I came out of the military, I was already 22. The time I really started college, I was 25 and married with 2 kids, and I'm trying to balance all this stuff out in my life. And I didn't end up to my bachelor's degree until I was after 30. And that was trying to figure a lot of things out along the way. But what I want to tell you is through this program, the ASVAB Career Exploration Program, which is the opportunity that's going to be offered to you, is that it's free. You get a chance to revisit maybe some of what your aptitudes are, where you'd be most successful, and to look at things a little bit differently when you look at a self-assessment of what your real interests are. And this program will help you put it all together. So going back to those 15 jobs that I had, one of them, embarrassed to say, I guess I'm a little more transparent and I can say this, is that my first job out of the military, which I thought would be the greatest job in the world because there was a TV show called Rescue. I believe it was Rescue. Is the fire guy still around? Guy, is that his name?
Yeah, he's gone.
Guy, are you gone? All right. So I'm glad you don't have to hear the story. So anyway, there's this TV show called Rescue. It's about these 2 firemen. And for 30 minutes every week, they would rescue people. They were heroes. They pulled people out of buildings. They were in the emergency room. Actually, the show was called Emergency. That's what the name of it was. It was about these 2 firemen, and they were really cool. And I said, that's what I want to do. And so I got a job in the city fire department, and I found out it's nothing like the TV show. There was no fires to go to. There was no one to rescue. And it was so boring, I couldn't stand it. And I was just pacing up and down, and people were sleeping in their chairs during the day, and they'd sleep at night. And you might catch a fire or a car wreck where you wash off the gas off the street or something like that. But I just didn't get it. It wasn't anything on what I thought it was. However, there was one night I was on call and duty, and there was a house fire, and we trained for it, and I was trained for it. But something happened. When we pulled up in those engines, I was back that engine, the captain on that truck said, "Bergman, get that Scott pack on, you're going in." I said, "Going in?" Well, a fire is one thing at a distance, but the closer you get, it's so hot, it's unbelievable. And you're telling me you want me to crawl through that door and go into a burning fire? And everything in my body and my mind said, no, that's not the right answer. I don't want to do that, but I did it anyway. But afterwards, I realized I don't really want to be put in this position again. I don't really want to be a fireman. And it wasn't but a couple months later, I decided to resign and start college. So things might look good like dating, but it doesn't mean they fit you. And through this program, we can help you kind of take another look and actually help you to look within instead of without, and help you to look at making choices that best fits you and where you could be best successful. I think that was one of the things Justin was talking about is success. And I'm going to use Justin a little bit. Thank you, Justin, because he gave me a couple pointers here tonight that pulls everything back. Now, if you listen to Justin carefully, he is now in solar engineering or solar tech in Arizona. Well, that's a job. But if you listen to Justin a little bit more, you found out his probably real passion is being a DJ. And so how long will he actually stay in solar? Or maybe the DJ is just something that he likes to do. But all of us have different parts of us. And through this ASVAB Career Exploration Program, you're going to learn about different parts. Now, a DJ is what we call under the artistic side of the house, where you like to be creative, you like to be freestyle, and you don't like a lot of parameters on your life. And a lot of people fit in careers with artistic. A lot of people fit in realistic jobs better. That's hands-on, making decisions. That would be engineering if you have the ability for math and science. But that's also an innate thing. You know, I would like to be a pop singer, but I can't really do that. I could try and I could probably learn to sing somewhat, but it's just like when I was in college, I found out math and science, and I had a couple classes in anatomy and physiology. That kind of steered me to I'll probably never be a doctor. So this is a time, and I started my college experience at a community college, and that was the greatest experience of my life. My first 2 years of college was the greatest experience because it allowed me to do a little self-exploring, and it also gave me the confidence, and it gave me the assistance that I needed to be successful when I transferred. And I found out transferring to a four-year school is nothing like a community college, nothing at all. I mean, we're not going to be holding your hand as much when you transfer. You're kind of on your own. So this is a great time of your life. And if you're in this stage right now, you know, I applaud you. But I also would say you're at the early stage of it all. It's still time to dream big. It's still time to go after your passion, but start exploring because it's really hard. If I had 10 careers here in a row and I say, walk through the one that best fits you, most of us can't do it. Unless you date that a little, get more information. The way to make a good decision is gain more information. The more information you can find about yourself, you can make a better decision about your future. The more information you can find out about yourself, your true self, your real self, and listen to yourself, you can make a good decision for your future. Whether it's a solar tech company or being a DJ or starting down that pathway. This program hopefully will be offered here at your campus so that you can take advantage, no cost, no fees, no obligation. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So is this something that's being offered at Mission?
We'll start out with the Valor. And maybe if it works out well, then we can send this to the Mission College.
So we are starting with Valor Center. And how are students being referred to the program?
Gonna market through the server.
Tonight's really just an introduction.
Oh, okay.
I've had a couple of meetings with them. The other part is I've also been working the last couple of years with Hartnell College in the Salinas Valley, and they've got it robust and it's full out through the campus. So this would be our second community college mission that we work with. So I'm excited because NASA's like 5 miles from here. And what I've learned about you guys so far is you're fantastic. And the international students gave me ice cream when I came in. And they said they would love to talk to me as well. I'm hoping that we can form a partnership here with you as well. And I do have a heart and a passion for veterans because I'm one, and I have a passion and a heart for community colleges, because I am a graduate of community college, and I don't share this a lot. I do have a heart for homeless in a sense. I was an orphan. I have well, I can't say it no more, but I did have a mother and father. I just didn't know who it was. I was in an orphanage. And that's the only thing I really know. No brothers, no sisters. And so really, I learned a new term this week at a conference, actually, that I shaped my life and my future and my chosen career as an educator. I became a high school coach, a teacher for years, because educators and schools cared about me so much. That became my family. And so when I chose professionally what I wanted to do, I chose to be an educator because it felt like family to me. And I felt like I wanted to be part of the family.